All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to more Mr. Cat action here on the early morning of this gorgeous.
10 seconds
Today's Friday, right?
remaining.
Anyway, I'm Android, being joined once again by Trent.
5
How is it going, man?
seconds remaining.
It is Friday.
I
Quite
got it
correct.
right.
Yeah, you got the day of the week
I'm
correct.
so happy. That is one
Quite
side
a
effect
monumental
of
achievement.
living in the Moonduck house is you just go by dates on the calendar, and I have not known what day of the week it was in a long time.
Yeah, that's fair. I can understand. But yeah, you made it. We're here. Game number 2. Faceless put on quite a show in game number 1. Solid draft, good execution, and CG were close,
10 seconds
but couldn't quite
remaining.
pull that draft together when they needed it to, and walk
5
forward with their
seconds
presence of the
remaining.
Dark Lord and their Wraith King aura and whatnot.
Ooh.
So, wow, look who is not first banned, guys. That Timbersaw, we talked about it. He's gone, much like every other game of Mr. Cat, and so he shall be replaced, and it shall be the Magnus here, 4 faces. I like to steal with the Shadow Demon Juggernaut early on, though, just to say, like, maybe this way I'll be less inclined to go Magnus, but they still do it.
Yeah, I mean, what? I don't think I've seen a game where a team's actually allowed to get their hands on the Magnus. It's just 100% banned out against them. So Faceless,
10
they've now got the
seconds
opportunity to draft
remaining.
the rest of this game around their big boy. I mean, what do you pick?
So
Do you go
good.
back for like an anti-mage because you get that free Battle Fury with the Empower?
They do it all, Annie.
I-
They do it all.
I
I've seen
it's
the
it's
Wraith
so
King
good.
Magnus. I've seen the Anti-Mage Magnus. I've seen the Troll Warlord Magnus. I've seen the PA Magnus. They will literally pick any core. That's what's so great about this hero. You can pick him first phase. You can't ban out his buddy. Yeah, they've done Slark Magnus too. Hey,
That's
they'll do anything.
terrifying. Oh my god, the
You can
PA
do Faceless
Magnus
Void, too.
sounds ridiculous.
5
Oh,
seconds
so many good options.
remaining.
Honestly, at least they don't have the Ogre, so they're not gonna have the double steroid. That's the other big opener that they love. Hence why the Ogre's also banned out. Gives them that opportunity. And yeah, they're going to remove Wraith King themselves. I mean, that big crit, it's kind of similar to how we always talk about Sven being a big counter to Juggernaut. It's similar with Wraith King. Just has an insane crit built in. And he just like mans up on Jug and he can't do anything.
All right.
Oh, hell yeah.
This is
10 seconds remaining.
definitely going to be an interesting game. We saw game 1, even with more traditional drafts, still very high octane, go, 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 fight, fight, fight. And now, with all these bad boys in the pool, this is just going to get more and more interesting. Again, we are in a playoff best of 3. Game number 1 to Faceless, so Faceless take another one here. Clutch Gamers bumping down to the losers bracket, but no one's
10
going home,
seconds
at least today.
remaining.
Well, at least not in this series.
Not in this series. Sorry,
Nah.
next series we're going to be cutting off some heads.
Yeah, Dunzo. But yeah, I like the Kunkka Band too. Solid. Although we don't see it that much anymore whenever there's a Shadow Demon. You guys just try and rack into your brain and be like, oh yeah, that combo is very obnoxious to play against. And it could disrupt some of our Wombo combo with our Magnus here too. So a solid choice there. But Shadow Demon, they have the Jug. They've got a couple different options. They could try and go for like a timing push once again. They could go for a lone druid style. Centaur is gone though. So we can't go like Centaur LD this phase. That'd be pretty sick. Boards, just their roamer. The 4 is already picked up by Faceless, so probably looking for that here. They could go Leshrac if they wanted to go for some more aggressive pushing, and still combo with the Shadow Demon. The worst thing ever. You kind of want someone who can go into that jungle though and abuse this Magnus. You want to be like in his face, annoying him, so they could even opt in towards like a bounty sort of a strategy. This pick's very important because their 4 is gonna set a lot of the pace of this game. And a bold call here.
You're
One of the nice things
so
about
good.
yeah, well, Shadow Demon, he sets up for Nyx in a nice way too, which is pretty cool. You can just disruption into Impale.
10 seconds
I like it.
remaining.
Definitely going to be a fun combo to set up. I mean, is that going to be our Shadow Demon partner, or is there going to be another dedicated
It's
friend?
open. For sure. It's probably just going to be like you want to keep the option there, get a couple more picks in. Now with the Rubik, though, they'll probably have to make their choice here, assuming they want to hold the choice of Juggernaut mid or Juggernaut safe lane for your final pick.
Yeah.
So now they have to decide with the Rubik what they want to do.
I mean, it's just such a gut reaction to see that Shadow Demon. It's like, oh, Luna's gonna get picked here, but there's not really that much you can do with her. If the lane goes bad, you can't really throw her in the jungle. Sure, she's great with Ancients, but you gotta give her like a safe lane, and Faceless are gonna make that very difficult, especially with their roamers already picked up. So definitely
Wonder
not
what else.
the black and white cut and dry thing we've seen before. Now there's going to be the OD. So not only do you have Disrupt, now you've got Astral. So Clutch can now take out 2 heroes, just remove them from the fight for a little bit. And that's going to make it a lot easier for them to focus down their real targets.
Wow. So they are going to save their final pick then to determine if this Nyx will have to be off lane or if it'll be support. So I guess that makes the most sense too, because your OD, you just pick this really strong mid laner. And now you can change the tempo of your game by quite a bit, depending if Nyx is a core or if he's support. If he's support, like going later is not the worst thing, right? He's still kind of fine with that. He just roams around with the SD. Maybe you can get someone who can help facilitate those earlier ganks, or even like a Tidehunter or something like that, you know, who just starts pushing with this OD, and you have this 5-man aura kind of a deal. So it's a bit risky, and yeah, it'll be the FV here.
There's the choice, going to pair nicely with that Magnus. Again, the Empower gives him that free Battle Fury, and that is why we see the Wraith King ban. I think there was a couple people in chat very curious as to why, you know, Clutch didn't exactly execute the cleanest Wraith King last game, but it's just because it's so good with that Empower. You farm like a madman. But Faceless Void going to be picked up for that role anyway. Is that just 100% their offlaner, or is he going to be trying his hand?
Position. No, he'll be hard carry for sure.
Number
he'll
1.
Be black. Yeah. Almost certainly.
I have not seen a black Faceless Void in a long time. Thoroughly excited for this game. Whew.
Now, we do still have the Meepo potential, but again, with a, you know, Faceless Void, it's not exactly the most synergistic kind of a combination here. Just so like if we wanted to look past that.
Here's all your brats under a chrono that can't move.
They could PA, in terms of like someone who can at least go mid and not have the worst time ever. Like dagger herself to success, get a little bit of help from the Earth Spirit. They can still Ember, is fine. But they have Nyx Assassin. If they Ember, they'll make the Nyx a core though. More than likely. And then your life as an Ember is a little bit more difficult.
Taking their time for this last pick. I'm liking what Faceless have going on. They've got a good mix of damage, a good mix of lockdown, a good mix of roam, and now with the Lone Druid, they've got their split push as well. He's just going to do his own thing. He'll hop into the fights when necessary, but I think it's very much going to be a game of the 4 heroes and then Lone Druid just kind of shoveling a lane.
Yeah, that's a smart pick. It was basically like LD or Sniper are 2 of the heroes you look towards for laning against OD mid.
I make that noise, but if you look at my like most recent 20 games, they're just mostly Sniper. It's terrible.
Filthy.
It's so bad. Anyway, Clutch Gamers last pick going in, deciding if this Nyx is going to be core or that position 4.
Tide's actually surprisingly good despite his Garbo status as of late.
I'd be down for a Tide. I think you kind of need that big AoE, like here is where we start the team fight kind of ability.
I don't think Beastmaster is very good because he's single target against Lone Druid, which is very obnoxious because the Savage Roar just comes out. If this was like Complexity, maybe we'd see that offlane Wind Ranger, but that's clearly not too popular anymore. You have weak initiation with SD Nyx, so I don't think you can do offlane Weaver. But if they wanted to try and do like a ratting kind of style, that's probably the hero you'd go for.
All
Just
right.
take the SK.
Got both buggies, both Scorpion dudes. So I don't know how I feel about Clutch's lineup. I like the big potential of Sand King's ults, and they've got many different disjoints with the Astral and the Disruption, but I feel like Faceless got this. They just seem like they know what's going on. Clutch seems like they have a very reactionary draft, but I could definitely be proven wrong. I think Clutch can set up for some really strong lanes, but in the end it's going to come down to team fights and push, and I just feel like Faceless, they got better abilities for that.
Yeah, Clutch are going to be in the exact same scenario as the last game, where if they miss that window, then it just gets very, very difficult. Magnus can split push around the map quite a bit, Lone Druid as well, and even Faceless Void, hard to track down and kill. They need that big group up moment, 5-man Dota at like 20 minutes. They are going to have a harder time taking Roche than even the last game. They don't have very good heroes for it at all. And I mean, the best thing they have will just be like healing ward and stuff, and they can kill Roche. It's just it'll take a while, and they'll have to watch for the chronos and the RPs, which means you have to win a pretty big fight in order to head into the pit in the first place, and then pushing into high ground will be a whole other story here. So certainly want to come out pretty favorably in the lanes here, I would imagine, for CG.
Absolutely. We're gonna go ahead, get on with it. No one needs more charcoal. That is, I think that. And one other time that the game has been paused, I just straight up laughed out loud. There was a time, were you casting with me? It may have been before I met you, where there was just a pause at the beginning of the game and it was just BRB vomiting. And I don't know, it was so funny.
Well, that's life sometimes.
I mean, it's not what you expect
little.
when you load into a game, but that guy, I forget who it was just so determined. Just went, had a little chuck, finished the game up. Nice and clean there. Anyway, any predictions for, lanes that are going to be just severely one-sided?
I'm looking forward to seeing where they put the resource of their Shadow Demon Nyx Assassin. This is not a very easy combo to get stuff done. No Leshrac. Like, you have the Impale, but it's just not that much damage compared to, like, SD Leshrac, or it's not as much control continuously over time as SD and Kunkka. It's like this awkward middle ground that, at the very least, like, becomes way better at level 6. That's the one advantage Nyx has over Leshrac and Kunkka, where he can just do way more things by himself when he's actually leveled up. It's just getting there that's going to be difficult. But he has good base HP regen, 4.1, so he can go and tango a little bit with Ice 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 in the jungle, which is very helpful.
Alright, things starting out with even runes. No one getting too crazy, but this top lane, we'll see if it's going to be a little too tough for the Magnus, because like you mentioned, going against 3 heroes that are not going to be too happy that you're there trying to farm and can do something about it. You see even there's little right clicks from Fly Solo starting to nip away at Ice Ice Ice. And Juggernaut, well, he's going to be adding to that party down bottom. Sand King, I mean, should be pretty survivable. Is going to have that Burrow Strike, probably level 2, after picking up the Caustic if he wants to farm as efficiently as possible. So.
Yeah, for right now, he's just getting the full XY treatment. Completely zoned out. But he did get a block off, and they're unable to dewardle in time. So that means all until 3 minutes. There will not be a camp here.
No.
Big deal.
Yeah, Sand King, he's going to get nothing for the first couple of levels, and it's, again, going to be exponentially harder to get the levels because he can't go into lane without feeling like he's going to die. So, may have to just play this one super duper safe. And while our mid OD going against our mid lone druid on Jabs. I mean, how long is Jabs just going to be sitting mid and farming before he goes and moves stuff? Like, what's kind of the cutoff point for lone druids? When do you start getting active?
Radiant side, usually it's around that same mark of like 9-10 minutes or something like that. Maybe respond to a gank up top or something, and like let's say Faceless Void TP's up top, gets a kill, and then you just like run top with them and you take down the tower. You just be that really early game siege engine. OD is a hero that doesn't really want to move out of lane either, though, so...
Picks up the level 2, just picks up the Burrow Strike, is going to be able to initiate onto the Rubik, and that's going to be first blood. The turnaround from the Sand King as he snaps up that level in Q is going to be enough, so a little bit of XP, bunch of money coming to our Sand King that's going to make this next portion of the laning phase a lot easier on him.
It looked like Raffy skilled up into the Sandstorm, too, and tried to live. Right there, like that last moment, but wasn't quite able to get it off in time. Obviously just getting the experience, but he actually killed the Rubik, so not too shocking they still went down. But a great turnaround play for sure. And we just go back to kind of seeing what's happening for Ice 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 on the top, right? Like he's about to be level 3, he's 1 experience away. Oh,
and he is tragically close to that level 3.
Get out of here. Get out of this lane. How much gold do you have? He bought his boots, so... Not opting in towards the earlier Iron Town, meaning he'll be staying up here, but he's also holding Boombox and Fly Solo up here the entire time too. And being level 3 though, they definitely have the damage to kill, as I say to this point, without much doubt. If he actually gets caught in the disruption though.
Down the bottom, Ana trying to play a dangerous game, goes and Burrow Strikes. Now that Burrow Strike is down, but Radiant aren't going to punish that just yet. Instead, Black continuing to work on his farm. He'll have a good time on that Faceless Void. I mean. They may not be able to kill the Sand King repeatedly, but Black is not going to be in a lot of trouble. He's not going to feel threatened by just a Sand King.
No, not as long as his supports are here. The matchup is pretty... Oh, they actually... Yeah, they got the D ward off, and then he still gets the pull off from hand. Despite 2 supports being here, you get that pull. That's actually, like, brutal. That shouldn't happen. So, nice play by Rappy. And finds himself the range creep here, too.
Ooh, up in this top lane, Juggernaut spinning. We've got Magnus, who's charging his way to freedom. Makes it over that little wall and was not locked down. Now he's fresh out of mana. Probably going to go Shrine up to be able to stay in lane, but that was a successful escape. And yeah, things just going back to normal here. Sitting at 1-1 overall kill score from that action down in bottom lane, but for the most part, everything's just focused on farming right now, getting off to the best start you possibly can, getting those very first round items up. Here we go, smoke
So
in.
rare to see, yeah, just how much attention was in those safe lanes, as you said, and they finally make that rotation here. But there's no brown boots on the Shadow Demon. They went for the Nyx instead. Which
Magnus,
is
he's
very
got to realize
difficult.
something's up, so probably just pinging like crazy, like, hey, there's a bunch of people missing, everyone better
Yeah,
play
he
safe.
knows for sure.
Armel, he's going forward, but this has got to be a dead giveaway. They do
the
get the
root!
Astral. The root proc onto the bear, though. They've got XY here. Armel could be in some serious danger. A couple more hits, and he'll be dead. One more will do it. Can they actually find the kill that they need? There we go. XY able to secure that one. Now Boomback's looking for some retaliation. Tower does it for him, and Fly Solo makes his way back to his side of the map. So what was supposed to be a gank on lone Druid turned very, very ugly for Clutch Gamers.
Yeah, it's sick. He gets all the gold on the or the Earth Spirit rather, and he bought out too. He didn't lose a single dime in that death there. So XY. And did you see what he did too? He didn't kick onto the OD. He kicked sideways onto Shadow Demon to make sure there wasn't a follow-up disruption onto Jabs, and that allowed him to
So
help chase
smart.
after for a little bit too.
Dude, XY is a boss on this Earth Spirit.
I still actually have to double check every time I look at the quick buys of our carries. You see that hand of Midas, and you see them just buy a recipe, and you're like, wait, what? Or rather, you see the glove, and you're just like, oh, is that a Midas? And then it's, oh, no. It's just gonna be a glove of haste here for Black into the old Helmet of Dominator, which, of course, ice, ice, ice. That's what we love to see of his offlane Magnus. Pretty hilarious to watch.
The
Gets that
old,
creep, runs at you.
Helm Void. Back to our roots there. Helm is just so good right now. Aside from the little purge dude over here, what's your favorite creep
Did you
to
see
get?
Fly Solo just walk in and take that barrier?
He's just on it, man. Fly Solo, this may cost him his life, although nice disruption buys him some time. Boombacks doesn't have the impale available, but just carapaces to make sure there's no retaliation. But all right, Shadow Demon got balls, just walks in and takes a bounty rune from behind the
That's
Magnus.
actually so irritating. Ugh. You were asking something, and
It was just some bullshit, I forget.
Oh, excellent. All right, good.
Oh,
Standard stuff. That's fine.
I was just talking about what your
Like-
favorite creep is to get with the Helm of the Dominator.
Oh. I like. I think mud golems are pretty dope. If you can if you're like a Darkseer or something, you can just run them at people with iron shells and stuff. It's pretty fun. Yeah. The Centaur is pretty dope with the vacuums, though, of course.
Oh yeah, I'm a Centaur fan. I call him Stompy. Now there we go. Unfortunately, XY flew too close to the sun, killed off as he just went to try to harass that tier 1 tower. Bit off more than he could chew there, but back to our mid lane. Armel is still farming phenomenally well on this OD. Our lone druid keeping up with him, somewhat. It's going to be 30 to 37. So lone druid obviously harassed back a little more, has to play safe with that bear. Has to be very wary of ganks, because at this point he's like 2 vulnerable heroes in one. Isn't quite tanky enough to make it on his own. So, yeah, just calm game right now. Nice pull in
Weird to
from
have
nuts.
a mid lane that's so 1v1 these days. It's actually kind of crazy. There's been almost no interference, just that one rotation play in from the supports. But other than that, it's just been OD and Lone Druid doing their thing. 2 very survivable position 1s and a Juggernaut and a Faceless Void. So the only real prey of this game is going to be your offlaners. It's just how it's kind of going to be, right?
Yeah.
Trying to focus and force pressure onto them. And Nyx anyway. Mr. Support. 4, almost level 5, so pretty good levels so far for Boombox.
Right.
That's almost 6 down bottom too, though.
Yeah, he had a really nice pull here, soaked up experience from both these camps with one creep wave, just kept him occupied. Now up top, is there going to be an initiation here? XY tries to kick things off. They've got the lift on the Rubik if they need it, but he hops into that Blade Fury. No telekinesis for you, and just back to farming here, so much more of a patient game, but I think pretty soon we'll start to see those, 3-4 man rotations that are going to start leading to some serious carnage.
Looking at Black, I'm thinking, like, who can actually, like, they don't have the best chrono heroes, of course. Like, the Lone Druid was a nice pick to get a final hero to throw their damage inside and still utilize the Empower. But that doesn't come online that early, right? This whole, like, Lone Druid thing. So the first couple chronos are probably just going to be more about, like, one hero kills the heroes than the big rotations or anything like that. It's just not all that much they can do with it, so... Much more focused around these three heroes, and the Earth Spirit, the Magnus, and the Rubik, and they also all take a little bit to come online, other than, I guess, XY, so it's a very quiet game so far, and it did open up a lot of this space here for Boombox to now almost get into level 6. Like, you don't punish this support Nyx whatsoever, so it turns that into a very good game, and really rewards the fact that they took this OD and left that option open for this being a support Nyx instead, because the greed is paying off for them. They're trying to bait Black a little bit down bottom here, but just sitting here smoked up. It's still a difficult kill. He does have 4 points into the time walk.
Let's see if he's going to get jumped here. Ana definitely think about initiating. There they go. They got what they need. The ult's going to be channeled up, and they follow it up with that Nyx Impale. Black, though, able to time walk off a little bit of it and turn things right around into the chrono. There's a save disrupt coming out, and Boombeck's able to get off that Carapace, but it looks like things are still going to turn in favor of the Radiant. Long roll in from XY. Can they catch up to Fly Solo? They need a bash here. Come on, Black, hit that bash key.
Oh, the DD rune.
Oh man, Black taking a little bit of damage there, but they still get the kill on the Nyx and the Shadow Fiend. Oh my. That was an 0 for 3. Black is responding well, able to get off that time walk in time. If he had been completely stun locked down by Clutch, that would have been a very different fight. That would have been a free pick on the Void, potentially pressure onto the Radiant structures, but this is going to be...
The real problem, too, was the Soul Catcher. That's why they didn't get that gank off. Because it's a difficult skill to use, obviously.
Gank's not done, Moppex. There we go.
Oh, it's over. Earth Spirit's dead. They're going to run away. It's fine.
Can Abing go for more here? Abing's got his Omni.
Alright, XY's dead.
Okay, he's dead.
But, yeah, he was in a wave there for Black, so... Oh, nice
Speaking
find,
of
though.
Black... Oh, man. The time walk away right as the Omni went out. That could have been lucky, but was not. So, Clutch Gaming going to burn off most of their mana right now.
Faceless Void. I mean, the hero's still so good. It's just so difficult without a steroid to help you out. You want your Bloodlust. You want your Empower in this case. So, I personally, big fan of Faceless Void. Cool hero. Big thumbs up. Armel chased his shrine uphill. Oh,
Yeah.
He's a Midas, too.
He's been strolling for a while there. This is a long run for him. He's trying to juke and jive the bear. We'll find him. Oh, he's sandwiched. Oh, God, he can't do anything. He's got the Astral now, but look, he's rooted and is dead. So unfortunate. Just a couple wrong turns there.
Can I get a team? Like,
yeah, that was a long kite. That was like up under the mid lane, through the river, around this staircase, and up to the shrine. That was not a short run. There we go. XY initiating here. Gets off a nice magnetize. 3 heroes going forward. Flies solo. Gonna bite the dust, and that should be it there.
Crazy to think how much momentum you lose off a single gank not working out like that. And now they're like trying to force this issue down bottom, and they could be so far ahead right now. Boombox forcing the vendetta here, but they'll know he's up to it. They're backing away mid from jabs too. And Black, Chrono back up. Jeez, it's been that long. 2 minutes and 20 seconds. They just keep up this pressure.
Oh, up the river. Boombex is going to be right under a sentry ward. They're just going to lift him, slap him down. They got that stolen Blade Fury on the Rubik, and unfortunately a dead Nyx assassin before Clutch can do anything with him there.
The real depressing part is that Nuts wasn't able to, like, if he'd only lived.
Oh, the neck creep! The neck creep into the chrono! They bring in the dominated little troll dude. There's going to be that burrow strike out, but do they still got this? There's going to be another lift, another stun. They drop Hana down. There is going to be an epicenter available. The silence on Fly Solo ends. They might be trying to reinitiate here. Not enough follow-up to fully take out Hana there, but another net from the net creep moves forward. Shrine activated as Black goes to work onto the Sand King. Sand King thinking about going in for that ult still, but hasn't decided to channel it up. There's going to be a TP in from the OD now, bringing everything forward as Jabs is going to be running away. His bear doing a little bit of work, body blocking everything up. Lands another root onto this Shadow Demon. I think that's going to be the end of the fight for now as OD. Oh, nice. Does he have any damage, though? That's the problem. The Shrine's going to be available, and they're just going to go stock everything up. And now Boombex could be the one in trouble. Meanwhile, there is going to be a kill over here as Jabs goes down. They will find the return kill onto the Earth Spirit. This is a very messy, bloody fight. Started out by a poor little troll creep that I think lost his life somewhere in there.
Faceless are so good with these helm creeps. They do every time. They just buy these helms, and the hero just sits on a lane and farms, and they throw these helms into the fight, and they do so much work. Like, Ice just not even there. He's just up top, and little centaurs doing work. And they get way more out of that than you'd probably expect. So they continue to hold the top two on the net worth chart, but not too far behind at the top two here for the Dire side, so not a total loss. And Armel has got a haste rune bottled up here and closing in on a Blink Dagger for himself. What they really need is that Blink Dagger from Rappy, which is done, sitting in the stash, and we might be able to get a nice smoke aggression play here with Boombox and a Vendetta too.
Right now, with all the action that's been going on bot and mid, we've had Ice just completely straight chilling here with his Centaur friend, and he is having a great time. This Magnus has just gotten so much. He's level 11 now.
Oh, this rotation maybe spotted out.
Yeah, like going forward, there's going to be the dump onto the Rubik, but that's a dump they're willing to take if they bring in Abing and can actually find a return kill here. Rubik down. Dire hunting for more. There's going to be a dust popped out. They do find the Nyx Assassin, so it is going to be a 1-for-1 trade right now, and it looks like both teams are content leaving it at that, backing out.
That probably saved Ice. Just the fact that, yeah, your Rubik goes down, but he's the one who stopped that smoke gank coming, and maybe Ice would have made it out, but it didn't have to come to anything, thanks to the supports rotating up there. So probably predicting there was going to be a movement from CG into that, and either hoping they get the jump on them or they just help protect Ice, and they did so. So he's almost up into his Blink Dagger. Gonna farm up some neutrals here, take a wave. All good to go. Look at this empowered Centaur.
Dude, that thing...
Base damage increased by 50.
That thing is slapping you. Look at that. Oh, God, he's got the big circle around him, too. That is some particles. Oh. Bang gonna have to solo the Centaur right now. This is like... We got 2 lone druids on this team.
Oh, nice choice by Black here. A little bit of initiation, a little bit of damage with an early Shadow Blade.
Oh, the first hit bash! Got him! And XY's gonna take that.
Kill steal,
yeah,
honestly.
There was that ping of like, oh, well, he got it anyway. Now, here we go. Centaur stomp onto 2. Is there the damage here? We got the RP at the ready. They bring in Lone Druid. There's going to be a skewer up. He's thinking about the RP. Goes in. RP onto 1. Just gets Juggernaut down. They got the root as well. Flies solo. A couple hits from death. They do find that. Ice able to wrangle 1 down. But there's Sand King stomping around, asserting some dominance. And they may have to lose their Lone Druid here. That is a really harsh trade to take.
I guess at least Ice makes it out. Yeah, that's very difficult to fight in a scenario like that. Didn't quite have the full vision. There were some trees in the way before that, or from that ward for a little bit of that fight, so understandable they couldn't quite get the best RP. Kind of hesitates when he had a 2-man RP and then it turns into a 1-man RP, but either way with Shadow Demon on the side, it wouldn't have mattered too much if he got 1 or 2 in that scenario. Bottom lane, again, Invis here. Invis Rune and Shadow Blade. A little obnoxious. Oh, Armel. Not again, dude.
Oh, again with the bash key, dude. Black found it. Deep roll, but not going to connect. In fact, Armel, we want to turn this.
XY did not have the faith in that bash.
He didn't believe, and I think that's where his downfall was. Now, he's in some trouble. He's going to get pinged out here. Goes for the TP. Is the Impale going to be in time? Just a fraction of a second too late. Oh, God. Clappy. They killed Clappy.
Oh yeah, his body just decomposes into the ground.
That's always the saddest thing, if there's like that particular Helm of the Dominator creep that you bond with, that you've had all game, and he gets killed. It makes you feel things, man.
Okay, Annie.
No, dude, I always name mine.
Clappy, very original.
There's Clappy, there's Stompy, there's Bitey, there's Purgy. Like, they're all creative.
All right, I'll allow it. Mid lane, Lone Druid, what a hero. Bear still does stuff. Up stick towers.
I mean, it's about to take your life. It's going to be the lift from the Rubik going forward. They smash down that Nyx assassin, holding him in place. Bear getting low. Flies solo. Oh, God, the bash. Dude, Black is on top of this. Dire got their shrine running. Black thinking about maybe going back in. Hits a chrono onto 2. Nyx assassin going to get focused down easily. The Magnetize comes in as well. They've got the RP. There's an Omni Slash bouncing every which way. Oh, God, it's a mess here. Looks like Hana's going to be able to escape, but the OD gets eaten by the Magnus there. Bing trying to limp his way away. He's got himself the phase boot. He's trying to juke and jive around the creep wave, but it's not going to be enough. That is a killing spree going the way of XY on this Earth Spirit, who has been unbelievably active since Faceless started moving around.
And Faceless are not messing around today. Already onto the high ground, not even 20 minutes in. And that's a fight taken with no Rappy, no Epicenter. And he's like, oh, well, I farmed my Force Staff, guys. But might be too little too late.
I'm gonna be real honest, I don't even know what happened around that fight at the shrine. I just saw a lot of fucking spells being used, but it ended up going in Faceless's favor. I think like almost everyone dumped their ult if they had it.
They just have so much vision here too. Like the ward up here, now they're gonna drop a.
Let's just take a look at Radiant Vision right now. This is what Radiant are seeing on the map. That shit is lit up. They are seeing the entire Dire side. They're seeing this group up in smoke gank here. They can absolutely see what's going on. So if they don't know that something's up near the shrine area, then I think they're not quite using their eyes, because this vision is phenomenal. Commends for the supports on Faceless. So, Dire going in. I mean, this is about the time in the game where you expect the heat around the Roche pit to turn up a little bit. Of course, since the Shrines update, since all 7.0 stuff, Roche is a huge factor in being able to push high ground. And of course, high ground translates to being able to take out Shrines and whatnot. So, different game, different objectives. But 20 minutes in, this is going to get spicy. That's what I'm trying to get out.
Well,
that was a lot of words to say Roche is now really important.
You are quite correct. And the cooldowns are back up already for the Radiant side, though. And when you talk about that whole Shrine fight, that was a lot of just, oh, we can kill this Lone Druid, right? Yeah, no, we got him. And then suddenly you're getting RP'd and chronoed. And this is essentially a double bubble sort of a strategy here. You can almost call it a triple bubble because of Earth Spirit and the way he's able to follow up on spells. It's actually ridiculous. When you have these big, long stuns, too, like Chrono and RP, he can generally get off like 2-3-man kicks kind of a thing, or 3-man pulls during a fight just by playing off of those. So XY kind of has this game in his hands, and so far he's doing exceptionally well. Has his Blink Dagger, has his Arcanes. Now it just becomes even easier for him to always get these clutch silences. Probably mostly onto Rappy and a Bing here. He does at least have his Manta and building into his Diffusal now. But could take down bottom. You know the Dire are 5-manning. They don't really have an option.
They're finally gonna cut themselves down to tier 1 here in the top lane. Bing's definitely been thinking about that for a while. Fortify comes out, but that's not anything anyone's too concerned about. I mean, yeah, you got your Rubik here, but I don't think he's gonna be making a strong front line. TP in.
Gaps is probably so salty he didn't just keep pushing there. Like,
oh god, are they gonna get this tower denied? That sucks. Oh, and here we go. Magnus gonna go ahead and eat an Omni Slash. So all right. Tower deny was worth it. They still get the kill they wanted, and Rubik, well, he's going to be able to get himself away. Meanwhile, there was a push going down in the bottom lane. Lone Druid makes quick work of that tier 2, starts in on the tier 3, but looks like everyone's going to kind of disjoint from here. It's just Rubik holding the top lane. Chunk of Dire Heroes holding the bottom. We got a quick pause coming out so we can evaluate what's going down. Overall net worth about 10,000 in favor of Faceless. Similar story when it comes to levels, and we can just check that out too. We got Lone Druid at 17, but of course he's playing 2 heroes.
That was a very nice Sentry ward combo just while you're making that push, right? I mean, that's just what you're supposed to do when you play Dota, but they did it, and they're rewarded with the kill on the Magnus. And more so than the goal, too, is just a lot of experience. Trying to get some of these more under-leveled heroes up.
All right, quick potty break here for Faceless. But I mean, how's it going? I mean, obviously you see that there's a net worth lead for Faceless, but Clutch definitely still have some hold potential. They've got some good fights, got some good ults. Nice pick there on the Magnus all alone. What's Clutch's way to really take this game over?
We need Rappy in the game. It's the big thing. He needs to hit like some big epi, blow up one of these key initiators before the fight starts, or before they can at least get off their ulti. Like if he can help eliminate either the Magnus or the Faceless Void, or hell, I'll even take XY at this point, to be honest. Just break up part of this chain, this combination that they have going. That's the most important thing. And then we talk about their draft and whatnot, but this idea of 5-man Dota, keeping everyone together, and needing Roshan pretty desperately if you're Clutch gamers. So big picks, wasted ults from the Radiant, and proceeding into Roche is really their best chance right now.
Well, they're going to keep farming up. Roche definitely a hot topic here, scouted out by a little melee creep on the Radiant side. So we'll see if anyone from the Dire makes their way towards that area. But for now, everyone just kind of staying in their respective half of the map, working on the next big items. Anything real big coming out soon. Looks like Faceless Void working on Aghanim Scepter after going for the Shadowblade BKB. Definitely thinking about getting the most out of his Chronos instead of just going for the raw right click. Big smoke up. Faceless making their way towards the Dire half of the map. They do stop at the Roche pit. They're able to de-ward a little bit. They see what's going down here. That observer, but they'd really just like to go and make a go at this Roshan without revealing
The Dire
themselves.
should know, because they see this sentry and they see the time on it.
Yeah, they definitely know now, as Magnus just kind of strolls around the pit, but it's not going to be quick enough. The Roshan goes the way of the Radiant. Jabs picks up the Aegis. Now here we do have a skewer back. Outworld Devourer going to be punished. He's able to go move himself forward, but it's not going to be enough as Black picks up a dominating streak on top of just getting a Roshan with his team. This is looking great for Faceless. They've now got their momentum, and they're going to ride it out. Try to push their luck here as they go back into the jungle looking for more.
Yeah, that's a great solo RP. Don't need anything else. XY even chucks down the Magnetize right at the end, but that's a dead OD for 30 more seconds.
It's so
And,
good.
They'll have Chrono big.
Lone Druid starting to whittle down this mid tower. We got Magnus just at least clearing the way for the top tower. So, Ana moving forward. That's going to be a Force Staff back. A nice impale holds the Faceless Void in place for just a moment. But Black can easily time walk that off.
10 seconds left on this OD. I think they really want to pressure for that.
Oh, they're moving forward. Magnus able to separate Hana from the herd. And that's going to be a kill. Very nice initiation. Just going, picking a target, dragging him back to the Hungry Wolves waiting in the back. And there's the tier 3 down. Shrines are now vulnerable on the Dire side of the map.
They're like trying to set out these illusions from Jug, but it's only level 2 disruption anyway. Doesn't do enough. 45% damage versus 75.
And this Lone Druid is starting to slap pretty gosh darn hard. A nice root, but Thing gonna be spinning out of that. Now there we go. Jump in onto the Magnus. This could be a big play. Black does have his Chronosphere. He's thinking about it. He's got to now wait until that time walk's ready to get some jump in, clearing out the wave, and his face is gonna just completely back here. It looks like they've waited out OD's death timer, and they don't really want to tangle with a full health, full mana Armo.
Well, they hold. They don't get the melee racks. Those will regen quite a bit. They only lose the tier 3. Considering the situation, not a bad hold for CG, but they got to get out there and find something. And sadly, by the time they're able to do so, these cooldowns are like
What
the
is
RP's
this
back.
courier? That thing is a mess.
Oh yeah, it's one of those bugged out.
It looks like a tornado just hit its whole face. All right. Anyway.
Multiple auras and whatnot. Pretty sweet.
It's just a blob. Anyway, gonna be having Nyx go and scout things out. It's gonna find Black here, but that's not an easy kill. Black gonna go Shadowblade right behind. Nyx has gotta be just like clenching so hard, making sure he's not walking under a sentry. And now the rest of the team. They're
They definitely
up.
wish they had sentries right there.
Oh yeah.
Could have camped that shrine, but wouldn't have found them anyways. They do the wrap. They know. They saw the Empower come from Isaiah's ice, so they can guarantee that he is also mid. And we just poke with the bear. There you go, range racks this time.
I mean, Jabs, he's got himself some Dragon Lances. He's
Damn,
tossing
Black.
things pretty gosh darn far.
Just buys and agnums.
Yeah, he's been working on it for a while.
What a baller.
He got it. And now it's going to be Big Boy Chronos, a low cooldown. You can see Magnus there looking to isolate a teammate, but not able to find what he's looking for. Carapace buys a little bit of time for the Nyx, making sure he's at least able to get back up to the high ground safely after that Rubik telekinesis. But here we go. The rack's starting to get whittled down. Hana goes in, Sandstorm to disjoint, but they got vision. Unfortunately, this Sand King is going to bite it. And now Black shows off his new BKB, new Aghanim Scepter, so that Chrono's coming back relatively shortly. And there we go. Magnus getting ready to just dump it all. He's underneath the tier 4s, for God's sakes. And Faceless are just going to town, chewing up Clutch Gamers. We could be moments away from a GG here, but nice initiation from the Sand King. At least buying a little bit of time. The Sanity's Eclipse does some work. The Rubik is gone, but Radiant, oh, they're still here. Aegis burned off on the lone Druid. Armel about half health. This Nyx Assassin dangerously low. The shrines aren't up. They can't punish him, but looks like Faceless may learn their lesson. They may just back out here, or not. A Sand King just goes and burrow strikes on through, so no, that's not something they have to worry about for the next couple of seconds. Oh, look at that initiation from the Magnus to get back on through. We got boulders flying every which way. Hana comes back in. The Gem of True Sight's on the deck, and Earth Spirit snaps that one up. Black looking for more, will get impaled, can't find that first hit bash that he loves so much. And then it's going to be a dominating streak up as Jabs finishes off Boombacks, that low health Nyx that was hanging around the back, and there we go. Full lane of racks taken in the middle. Faceless come out victorious in the end.
Yeah, it's a tough battle. Took a long time to get it done.
And they're not done. Black with that new Aghanim Scepter has that low cooldown Chrono. He goes in and he solos down the OD, who doesn't have buyback. That is game winning there for Black. That is phenomenally done. He just goes right
looks
back
like
in.
Jabs wants it. He's like, guys, come on.
Jabs, does this guy feel fear? Does he know what it means to relax? Looks like he's gonna BKB and try to go straight in onto the Sand King. Oh, can they find this? Jabs is so gosh darn low. Look at Play solo. He gets taken down, but unfortunately the LD loses his life as well. Hana will get pushed against the wall and just completely taken out. Black just gonna go start working on this tier 3 here. Boombacks sure would like to initiate here. Miranda Burn still sitting on the impale, but with Magnus there as well as XY, it's real hard to jump any of these guys. Another tier 3 out. Racks, they're getting low. There's a 3-man impale, but no one else is alive to help clean up the damage.
Well, at least drive them off here, but Jabs, a little too crazy on that one. Big a deal though. So game still well in hand here for the side of Faceless. Looks great. They're starting to approach a 30k lead as they currently sit at about 25.
Yeah, similar start with XP as well, and of course with talent trees, that makes it all the more interesting here. You got your level 20s picked up by 2 heroes on the side of Faceless, almost your Magnus as well, whereas your highest on Clutch is sitting at level 17, so still a long way to go for that OD before he gets his level 20 talent.
What have we here?
Oh, it looks like another uphill battle here, Annie.
Yeah, I think you
I'm not
called it
feeling
out
too confident.
pretty well in the draft. I mean, Clutch had a really strong window where they could rotate and get things done and go in for pushes of their own, but if they miss that window, it gets so difficult, and we can see that now. I mean, how do you run against this lone Druid that now has a full Mjolnir just on his body, on his person? This guy's smacking you apart. His bear ain't no little bitch either. He's hitting pretty hard.
Yeah, they just have like no way of dealing with him, honestly. The BKBs are just so strong. I'm on all 3 cores. Like, this is just, we're gonna end this game, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Items. Barring some like 5-man burrow strike, epi shenanigans, blink into impale combos, there's just not much you can do on the side of Clutch Gamers. Just got outplayed once again, outmaneuvered. The lanes weren't a stomp or anything like that, as they just let the side of Faceless farm up, trying to do their own farm up strategy and hoping their 20-minute would be stronger, but it wasn't enough. And XY loses smoke. He's gonna know there's people up there.
I mean, you can know there's someone up there, but can you do anything about it? That's the problem. There we go. Gets him down to the low ground. Oh, being forced to go into that magic community. Look at that RP. The Magnetized dumped out. They've got the Chrono as well. They're focusing on the Juggernaut in the Chrono, and they're able to get it black. Now, godlike. What an amazing Faceless Void here. And he's going for more. Gets that first hit bash. Oh, my. The carnage comes out. The GG is called. As Faceless, they just get their opportunity and they seize it. What an amazing game to watch. It's a 2-0 series in favor of Faceless, but Clutch Gaming, they're not out yet.
No, that is just our upper bracket match of the day here. As Faceless do dominate and crush, as I said, 11-0-17 from Black. Goddamn.
Whew. Let's take a look at that scoreboard. See what his net worth was at. That is a very scary Faceless Void. My goodness, he got a lot of space to himself, and of course that Magnus helping things out, but I mean, a lot of that's just down to Black being one of the best Faceless Voids in the world.
Well, now that puts us into our next match, which will be Mineski versus Warriors Gaming. So, let y'all know, Warriors Gaming are currently in another match right now for another tournament, but we gotta get this tournament on the road and keep on rolling. So we will be waiting for them to finish up, as well as our match isn't scheduled to start for another hour. So it's not like they're breaking any rules or anything like that. Just don't expect it to start early, that's for sure. And we'll probably end up starting at least a little bit late, 20, 30 minutes or something like that. So
Yay!
About an hour and 20 minutes or so until our next match. We'll keep you guys up to date as to what's going on there. But that one will be elimination, as it will be Mineski versus Warriors Gaming Unity.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead, pop on the timer again. A little bit of a break. I'll keep the rat-a-tat rolling, but if you guys got other real-life stuff to do, I get it. Just come back in about an hour, check what's going on here for more Mr. Cat action. I'm Android, that's Trent. See you guys soon.